Welcome to what I'll call a follow-up on our last video. As I was sitting back watching last week's video, I noticed I shared with you the things that you need to do to win new customers, but I didn't touch on what you shouldn't do. Let's talk about those. So one of the keys to success for any entrepreneur, especially a security guard company owner, is to avoid making mistakes that could have easily been avoided. So let me share with you the 5 biggest mistakes that I see security guard company owners make and that I hope you won't. First, when you get that first long-term contract, please, for the love of God, don't plan on working the site yourself. Working your own site should always be a last resort. You know, like when someone calls off or someone quits, it's okay, it's acceptable to work then. Because if you're working your long-term contract, who's going to be growing your business? You can't be on a post and actively pursuing new customers at the same time. You have to work on your business, not just in your business. Additionally, because it's your company, you're going to provide better service than any other officer that you'll place there. In doing so, you are going to set a really high bar for the service at that site. So what happens when you place an officer at that site who isn't as good as you? You know what's going to happen, right? If you don't, let me tell you, your customer is going to want you back working there. And again, you can't grow your business if you're working a post. In all honesty, if you have a 9-to-5, keep that job and hire someone else to work the site and monitor them using OfficerReports.com to ensure your customers are getting good service. Simple enough? Second, it may hurt you, but don't go in the door with your true billing rate. I know, you've got the best company in your city and you should be paid for that level of service. But the problem is your quality of service is just kind of theoretical until you can get some customers who are willing to vouch for you and become references. Just suck it up and get it over with. Once you have your references, you can start billing what you like to bill. Third, although everyone wants a 336-hour-a-week contract downtown at that big shiny building, you're not going to be able to start there. In fact, I wouldn't even contemplate those type of contracts until you've had some real experience in those environments. So don't start there. A great place to start, which are sometimes overlooked, are with temporary contracts, short-term contracts, and certain types of special events. Those contracts are not hotly pursued, so you'll tend to have better luck with those. In fact, there are companies out there who specialize in subbing temporary contracts out to small firms. Check out companies like Security Resources out of New Jersey or St. Moritz to see what their requirements are. Fourth, bidding websites are not going to be worth your time. The reason being is that the bids that you get on those websites are easy to find and a lot of security companies subscribe to those sites. So if a bid does come out through those sites, guess what? You're going to have to bid against 30 other security guard companies. Not exactly the best situation for a newer company. Fifth, don't be too hasty to take on contracts with local or state governments. I've had contracts where the state hadn't paid me in 90+ days. Those extended payment terms put a real burden on your cash flow, and I've seen companies absolutely fold from not being able to meet payroll because of that. As a new security guard company, you have to monitor your cash flow. It makes no sense at all to land a big contract but not be able to pay your officers. Because when that happens, this is what happens to your company. And that's the end of video number 10. If you're thinking about starting a security guard company and you find this type of information helpful, then please subscribe and click the notification bell to make sure that you're alerted as we introduce new videos in the series. Lastly, if you have questions or comments, please leave them below because I try to respond to all the comments and questions that I get. On to the next video.